water sounds different when it belongs to your boat. It's not the sound of a marina, not the wash of a passing tender, not the slap of waves against a rental hull. It's the specific rhythm of a 200-foot displacement yacht at rest, a slow, deep breathing against the waterline that you feel through the teak deck beneath your feet. Your Feadship, 4 hours off the paperwork. The captain, your 15 crew members, all on payroll as of noon today, is at the helm running final systems checks. A steward you interviewed 6 weeks ago is uncorking a bottle of Krug 2008 at the bar behind you. The broker leans on the polished stainless rail beside you, arms crossed, comfortable. He mentions, casually, the way brokers mention things when the check has already cleared, that the industry rule of thumb is roughly 10% of purchase price per year in operating costs. He says it like weather. He says it like something you already know. You laugh. You quote your own number back at him. Something confident, something rounded down, something spoken with the certainty of a man who has just spent $50 million and does not need to check math. The broker smiles. He doesn't correct you. The champagne arrives. You take the glass. The water taps against the hull below the aft deck. That slow, deep breathing you'll come to know at 2 a.m. in 6 different harbors over the next 2 years. The check cleared this morning. $52 million all in. You stand at the rail and feel like you've arrived somewhere. The number you said to the broker is off by nearly half. He knew it when you said it. 6 weeks later, your yacht sits at a berth in Palma de Mallorca, the first port of call after the transatlantic delivery run the crew handled without you. You fly in commercial, first class. You don't think about the irony until you're already at the gate. You arrive at the marina and walk down the dock toward your vessel. Other yachts flank yours on either side. Larger ones, smaller ones. Yours is 200 feet. The one 3 berths down is 240 feet. You catalog this involuntarily. Your friend David is on the dock, tanned, arms wide. David bought a 165-foot Benetti from the same broker 3 months before you. He walks you up your gangway. The captain greets you by name. The chief stewardess hands you a hot towel infused with citrus. David tours the boat with you. Owner's suite, sky lounge, beach club, cinema room. He knows the specs of your yacht better than you do. He had this exact model on his short list. He points out the fold-out beach club deck. I regret not going bigger, he says. You laugh. You'd been thinking the opposite. That evening, over dinner on your aft deck, the captain hands you a folder, not the ship's operating manual, the seasonal itinerary, where the yacht will be, month by month, for the next 12 months. Mediterranean summer, Palma, Sardinia, Amalfi, Monaco, Antibes. Transatlantic reposition, October. Caribbean winter, St. Bart's, Antigua, BVI. Transatlantic return, April. You look at the calendar. You count the weeks you'll actually be on board, between board meetings, quarterly reports, your daughter's 10th birthday, your wife's travel schedule, 6 weeks, maybe 7. The yacht will be moving, crewed, provisioned, insured, and maintained for 52 weeks. You'll be on it for 6. David lifts his glass to the season. You lift yours. The yacht is berthed. The captain has your itinerary. Somewhere in Barcelona, a delivery crew has already started planning October's transatlantic run. Your life has been added to a calendar you didn't write. 3 months in, you're in your Manhattan office on a Tuesday afternoon. Your yacht is in Sardinia. You haven't been on board in 7 weeks. Your family office CFO sends over the September operating report. You open it on your laptop. 2 pages. Clean formatting. Line items grouped by category. Top line. Crew payroll. September. $178,000. You scroll. Captain. $22,000 a month. Chief officer. $14,000. Chief engineer. $16,000. Second engineer. $9,500. Bosun. $8,000. 6 deckhands at $6,000 each. Chef. $14,000. Sous chef. $8,000. Chief stew. $10,000. 3 interior stews at $6,500. Purser. $9,000. You count. 18 people. On your payroll. For a boat you were not on this month. You keep scrolling. Marina fees. Porto Cervo. 1 week during peak. $34,000. Fuel. 1 repositioning leg Sardinia to Corsica, $28,000. Provisioning, September stores and beverages, $41,000. Insurance premium, monthly installment, $22,000. You reach the bottom. September total operating cost, $487,000. You were not on board this month. Not 1 hour. The yacht ran for 30 days without you. It fed a crew of 18. It sat in one of the most expensive marinas in the Mediterranean during high season. It served Krug to a charter guest you never met. A charter that offset $180,000 of your monthly cost, according to the note at the bottom of the ledger. Net cost to you for a month you didn't touch the yacht, $307,000. You close the laptop. Your assistant knocks and reminds you about the 3 p.m. board call. The call runs long. You forget the number by 4 p.m. The report gets filed. October's is already being drafted. Month 7, October. Your yacht is in the middle of the Atlantic. Day 9 of an 18-day transatlantic reposition from Gibraltar to St. Martin. You watch the captain's daily position report on your phone, sitting at your kitchen island in Manhattan. The yacht is 1,400 nautical miles from any coastline. 18 crew members on board. You are not one of them. The reposition is not optional. The Mediterranean insurance zone excludes hurricane season. The Caribbean season starts November 15th. To be in position for the winter charter market and for your own scheduled use in December, the yacht must cross the Atlantic in October. This is not a decision you made. This is a decision the calendar made. Fuel for the crossing, $92,000. Crew overtime for the extended sea days, $34,000. Provisioning, $18,000. Insurance rider for the ocean passage, $11,000. Total cost of a voyage you're not on and had no choice about, $155,000. Your management company sends a note. A charter client has requested your yacht for the week of December 27th in St. Bart's. The offer is $340,000 for the week. You had planned to use the yacht that week, you and your family, the first real trip since taking delivery. You reply, not that week. The management company replies within an hour, understood. We have another inquiry for January 3 to 10, $280,000. Do you want us to pursue? You stare at the message. You had planned January 3 to 10 too. You'd blocked the calendar. Your wife had been telling friends. Your daughter had picked which cabin she wanted. You reply, not that week either. You close the phone. The yacht is still 1,400 nautical miles from land. 18 people are working through the night for a vessel that will not earn you $1 that week, because you've reserved it for a life you barely have time to live. You put the phone face down on the kitchen counter. The yacht keeps moving. The reposition doesn't wait for your reply. Neither does the invoice. Month 9, December. Your yacht is anchored in Gustavia Harbor, St. Bart's. You are in your office in Manhattan, prepping for a Thursday morning earnings call. You open Instagram during a 5-minute break between meetings. The algorithm surfaces a post from a lifestyle account you don't follow. The video, a woman in a white bikini doing a backflip off a swim platform into turquoise water. The caption tags the vessel by name. Your vessel. You freeze the video. You recognize the swim platform, the specific angle of the aft deck. The teak inlay pattern you approved from 3 options in the shipyard 9 months ago. Behind her, laughing, a group of 6 adults holding cocktails you didn't pour, wearing sun hats you didn't buy, on a yacht you own but have not touched in 11 weeks. The charter fee for that week, $310,000. Your management company had emailed you the booking confirmation in November. You'd approved it. You'd forgotten. You scroll the account. More posts. The chef preparing lobster on the aft deck. The guests jumping into the sea from the sun deck. A candlelit dinner in the main salon under the chandelier you selected. A drone shot of the yacht at anchor, with 2 tenders circling like satellites. Your yacht is having the vacation you thought you were buying. You are at your desk. Your calendar shows 8 a.m. analyst call, 11 a.m. legal review, 1 p.m. strategy off-site prep, 4 p.m. your daughter's parent-teacher conference on Zoom, 7 p.m. dinner with 2 board members. The charter guests will drink Krug on your foredeck at 6 p.m. local time. You will be in a car service to a midtown steakhouse. You close Instagram. You open your inbox. There are 47 unread emails. None of them are from the yacht. The yacht doesn't need you. It has a chef and a chief stewardess and a booking calendar. You are the last person on the vessel's org chart. Month 16. Your yacht is out of the water in a shipyard in La Ciotat, France, undergoing its scheduled 5-year refit. Only the yacht is not yet 5 years old. The refit is required because certain classification society inspections must occur regardless of vessel age. Your yacht has hit a milestone the calendar imposed, not one the yacht earned. The captain sends you the refit scope of work, 12 pages. You read it in your kitchen at 11 p.m. Bottom paint and hull inspection, $180,000. Engine servicing, both mains, $340,000. Generator overhauls, 3 units, $210,000. HVAC system upgrade required by new class rules, $290,000. Interior refresh in high wear areas, $420,000. Tender servicing, 3 tenders, $85,000. Miscellaneous compliance items, $180,000. Total, $1,705,000. During those 11 weeks, your crew remains on payroll. The yacht is not earning charter income. The shipyard fee itself, on top of the work, is $22,000 per week for the berth space. 11 weeks of full crew payroll, approximately $490,000. Shipyard berth, $242,000. Refit work itself, $1,705,000. Lost charter revenue for a peak spring booking period, approximately $600,000. Total cost of the refit window, roughly $3 million. Your phone rings. David. You haven't spoken to David in 4 months. Not since the summer. David sold his Benetti 11 weeks ago. He tells you this calmly. He got out at $23 million after paying $28 million. He tells you he'd owned it for 18 months, and he ran the math one Sunday night in October and made the decision that night. He didn't tell anyone, not even his wife, until the buyer was signed. He bought a 42-foot Serena that he drives himself in the Balearics on weekends. No crew, no refit cycles, no captain. He took his kids out last weekend, and none of them mentioned the old boat. You ask him what the math said. David is quiet for a beat. Then he tells you. $3 million a year, tops, he says. That's what I told the broker on delivery day. He didn't correct me. The real number was $5.4 million. Every single year. And I was going to have another $3 million refit in 3 more years. And another one 3 years after that. He pauses. I did the math on 20 years of ownership. It came out to $118 million for a boat I could sell for maybe $12 million by then. I was going to spend the equivalent of 10 boats to own one. You sit at your kitchen counter. The refit invoice is still open on your laptop. $3 million for 11 weeks. David asks how the yacht is doing. You tell him about the refit. He doesn't say anything for a moment. Then he says, I'm sorry. You don't know if he means about the money or about something else. David hangs up. The refit invoice is still open on your laptop. The number hasn't changed. The kitchen is quiet. Somewhere in La Ciotat, at 5 a.m. local time, a crane is lifting a section of hull paint away from your boat. Month 19. You sit alone at the small desk in the owner's suite of your yacht. The vessel is at anchor off the coast of Ibiza. It is 2:17 a.m. Your wife and daughter are asleep in the family cabin 2 decks down. You've been on board for 4 days. This is the second time you've used the yacht in 6 months. You cannot sleep. The water taps against the hull below the owner's suite portholes. That same slow, deep breathing you first heard on delivery day. You open your laptop. You build the spreadsheet you should have built before you ever contacted the broker. It takes 90 minutes. The owner's suite is silent, except for the water and the low hum of the yacht's climate system. 20 months of ownership. Every invoice. Every charter offset. Every refit line. Every fuel receipt. Every crew bonus. Every dockage fee in every port. Every provisioning bill for every guest week. You total the columns. Gross operating costs over 20 months. $9.8 million. Charter income offsets, $2.1 million. Net operating cost, $7.7 million. Refit, year 2, $3 million all in. 20-month net cash burn, $10.7 million. You look at your depreciation estimate. The market has softened. Comparable Feadship 200-footers of your year are trading around $42 million. You paid $52 million. Estimated depreciation to date, $10 million. Total cost of 20 months of ownership, $20.7 million. You count the weeks you have actually spent on board the yacht over those 20 months. 9 weeks. You divide. $2.3 million per week on board. Per week you were actually on the yacht that you own. The industry charter rate for a comparable Feadship in high season, $250,000 per week. Off-season, $180,000. For the total cost of your 20 months of ownership, you could have chartered a comparable yacht for approximately 92 weeks in high season. Nearly 2 full years of continuous, uninterrupted, hassle-free access to any Feadship you wanted, in any harbor, whenever you wanted it. You have used your own yacht for 9 weeks. The water taps against the hull. You look out the porthole. The Ibiza coastline is a dark line against a slightly less dark sky. Somewhere on shore, someone is drinking a €5 beer at a beach bar. You would trade places for a moment. You would not admit that to anyone. You close the laptop. The reading lamp is the only light in the cabin. The water keeps tapping. Somewhere in the dark, another 200-foot yacht is anchored a mile away. Its owner is probably not sleeping either. Month 21. Monaco. Grand Prix week. You are on the aft deck of your yacht, anchored in the outer harbor. Your yacht is 200 feet. You paid $52 million. 200 meters off your starboard side, a 280-foot yacht drops anchor. Newer, sleeker. You see a helipad on the sun deck. A small submarine tender being lowered from the stern. The owner is visible on the top deck, in a linen shirt, on a phone call, gesturing with a whiskey glass in his free hand. You do not know the owner. You do not need to. You know the yacht. Every yacht owner in Monaco this week knows every yacht. The mental catalog is automatic. You watch the 280-footer settle at anchor. It is, unmistakably, a larger and more expensive vessel than yours. Your captain approaches with a glass of Krug. He nods toward the 280-footer. "Nice boat," he says, professionally neutral. You nod back. You take the glass. You watch. The owner of the 280-footer sets down his phone and looks past your yacht. He is looking at something in the next bay. You follow his eyeline. A 340-foot yacht is anchored a kilometer away. Flag on the stern, not one you recognize. 2 helipads. What appears to be a full-sized swimming pool on the sun deck. The owner of the 280-footer takes a sip of his whiskey and does not look away from the 340-footer for a long time. His expression is not admiration. It is not envy. It is the specific quiet grief of a man who has just been reminded, in real time, that his 280-foot yacht is smaller than something. You watch him watch it. You lift your Krug. You take a sip. Your captain is still standing beside you. He does not comment on any of it. He does not need to. You think about David. You think about David's 42-foot Serena that he drives himself in the Balearics. You think about the fact that David told you, on the phone that night, that his 10-year-old daughter had not once asked about the old boat. The 280-foot owner is still watching the 340-footer. The 340-foot owner, wherever he is probably watching a 400-footer. There is no top of this. You bought a ticket to a scoreboard that does not end. The 280-foot owner finishes his whiskey. He does not look at his own yacht. You finish your Krug. The captain refills it without asking. The water taps against the hull. Nothing has changed. Everything has. Month 28. You listed the yacht 7 months ago. It takes another 4 months to find a serious buyer. Sale price, $39 million. You paid $52 million. Depreciation loss, $13 million. Total operating costs and refit over 28 months, $16 million. Charter income offsets, $3.4 million. Total net cost of 28 months of Superyacht ownership, $25.6 million. You used the yacht for 12 weeks total, $2,133,333 per week on board. The paperwork closes on a Tuesday morning. You sign remotely. No champagne. No captain standing beside you. No teak deck. A pen on a screen, and the quiet end of a chapter you started with a Krug flute and a broker who did not correct you. 2 months later, you are in Nice for a long weekend with your family. You rented a small apartment overlooking the Baie des Anges. 2 bedrooms, a balcony, a view of the harbor where a dozen yachts sit at anchor in the morning light. You wake before your wife and daughter. You step out onto the balcony with a coffee. The apartment costs €340 per night. The coffee is from the cafe downstairs. €3 with a saucer. Below you, in the harbor, a 210-foot yacht is at anchor. You do not know the owner. It is roughly the size of the one you sold. Its tender is pulling away from the swim platform, ferrying guests to shore. The water taps against the seawall below the balcony. You listen. It is the same sound. Not similar. The same. The specific rhythm of Mediterranean water against a hard surface. At rest. In the morning. Before the wind picks up. You did not need to own the yacht to hear this. The water was always going to be here. It was here before you bought the boat. It has been here every summer of your life. It will be here every summer after. Your daughter comes out onto the balcony in pajamas, rubbing her eyes. She looks at the harbor. She looks at the yachts. They're pretty, she says. You nod. You hand her a piece of the croissant on the small table. She doesn't ask if any of them are yours. She never would have. That was never the part she cared about. The water was always going to be there. The boat was the part you bought, and the part you didn't need. Before you buy any luxury asset marketed as freedom, a yacht, a plane, a vacation home, a vineyard, write down 2 numbers. First, how many weeks per year you will actually use it. Second, what the same experience would cost you to rent for those weeks. If chartering wins by 3x or more, you are not buying an experience. You are buying an obligation with the experience attached. Charter for 1 year first. Then decide. If this changed how you think about what luxury actually costs, subscribe. The next video applies this same math to a different asset, one that 90% of the audience already owns without realizing it works exactly like a yacht. Small monthly costs, big compounding drag, and an exit that takes longer than you think. You'll want to see the number.